All right, thank you. Guys. Okay. All right, so here we got the Chapter 8 formative. Okay, it's going to be out of 38 points, which means I think you can miss 2. Now, if you get the bonus, you can actually miss 3, I believe. Okay, so learning target number 1 is just I can solve one-step equations. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our line. And again, that just separates the left side and the right side of the seesaw, or the equation. And then we just have to ask ourselves what? Luke? What is happening to the variable? That's where we always start, because that's going to allow us to use our inverse operations and undo whatever's happening to it. So we ask that question. Okay? If you know you struggled with this, you may want to write that question down. What? Okay, I got it. So what is happening to the variable, Camille?
You're adding it.
I'm adding 4/5 to it. So how do I undo adding 4/5? Yes? I'm going to subtract 4/5, and if you don't have this, it's wrong. Guys, and you need to be writing it, because again, this is your first study guide. Okay, now I'm going to learn that M, now you could keep it vertical, but if you wanted to come over here and actually subtract it horizontally like this, like you're used to seeing, okay, it's already got common denominators for you, so this was just 3/5. So it's 3/5. Am I done?
No.
No, you are not, guys. Once you get that, every single one of you should always go in and plug it in. Now, I even say write it. So actually go, okay, that's M is 3/5. I'm going to add 4/5 to it. That's going to be 7/5. Is that what it said it had to be?
Yep.
Okay, so please do that. Really, there is no reason in this world that anybody misses one-step equations, because you should be able to know whether you got it right or not based on the work that you did or you plugging it in. Okay, this one, same one. That's wrong. Okay, so here, hold on. Here I can see that there's my line. Now I'm going to ask the question, what is happening to the variable? 1/8 is being taken from M, so I've got to put 1/8 back to make it back just to M, right guys? It's called isolating the variable, right everybody? Getting the variable all by itself. That's what the goal of this is. Okay, now, can I add 1/2 and 1/8?
No.
No, that's where I always like to write it horizontally. You did not have to do this though. Okay, now we need to know that we need to find a common denominator. You could use 16, but I'm just going to go ahead and make this one 8. Do whatever you did to the bottom to the top, and there we go. We learned that that's 5/8. 5/8. Okay, you must have that work. If it's not there, it's wrong. And then, of course, I need to go ahead and plug it in. So I'm going to take 5/8, and I'm going to plug it in for M, and then I'm going to subtract to 1/8, and then that's going to be 4/8, which simplifies to what?
1/2.
Which is what we said it had to be. Right? All right. This one, same one, learning target number 1 on this one also. Okay, I'm going to draw my line. Okay, now this one, you've got to ask yourself, what is happening to the variable? The variable is being multiplied by 3/4. So how do I undo multiplying by 3/4, Cole? I'm going to divide by 3/4. I'm going to divide by 3/4. Now, notice how I wrote it horizontally. The only reason I do that is because when we've done the algorithm for division, haven't we always done it horizontally? Yeah, we have. So that's just going to allow me to do dividend stays the same, divide becomes multiply, and we use the reciprocal of the divisor, which makes that 4/3, which I get 36/3. But then we need to simplify. I know that 3 has a factor of 3, and I know that 36 has a factor of 3. So I'm going to divide top and bottom by 3. I get 12/1, or obviously just 12. So I learned that K equals 12. I must see this work. You must have showed me the algorithm and all that. Okay? If you left it as 36/3, it's wrong. Yeah. That's wrong. Okay? And then obviously always plug it in. So I'm going to take 3/4 and I'm going to multiply it by 12/1. Top times top, bottom times bottom. I get 36/4, which they share a common factor of 4, the 2, but also 4. So it's then going to be 9/1, which is 9. Isn't that what we said it had to equal? Yes, it is. Okay? So take a note, guys. That's the work that I would need to see there. Represent the solution set for m greater than 15. Remember, solution set means anything that could go in for x. Write that for me, please. Anything, or m, I mean, that would make, I'll write it like this. Anything that would make inequality true. Right? Because remember, there are infinite numbers for inequalities. There's an infinite amount of numbers I could put in there for m. Right? So the only way that I can write every single solution is by graphing and then showing shading. Okay? So you didn't have to solve. By the way, this is learning target number 3. Right, inequality from no. I'm sorry. This is learning target number 2. I apologize. Sorry about that, guys. It's learning target number 2, plotting inequalities on a number line. Okay? So, first thing I did, well, let me ask you, what's the first thing that you noticed when you looked at m greater than 15? What's the first thing you should identify? Brooklyn?
I found out that the two bottom ones were less than.
Okay. That's okay, so she did it a little differently than me. She realized that these are shading less than. What I did is I said, well, that's just greater than, so that's going to be an open dot, right? Right?
Yeah.
So right away, I was able to eliminate letter B and letter D. That's where I started, but you could have started the other direction and done it the other way. It doesn't matter. That's just how I thought about it. Now, I got to realize, okay, m greater than 15. Where are my solutions? Are they to the right of 15 or to the left, guys? They are to the right. And should I just grab a number that's in my solutions?
Yeah.
Sure. Here we go. I got m greater than 20, or whoops, m greater than 15. Give me a number that's in that solution set. Ethan?
2,000.
Okay, how about 20? But yes, you could use 2,000. I'm going to use 20. Is that true, guys?
Yeah.
Is it trying to eat the larger number?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Okay. Next one. This is learning target number 5. Write an inequality for the situation. There are at least 62 children in the classroom. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this for me. I want you guys to write this on your test. You didn't have to do this, but I'm just going to write it so that this is just a strategy you can use for the summative. Okay? Give me some amounts that there could be in that classroom. Since it's at least 62 people, how many people could be in that classroom? How many kids? Jacob? There could be 63. Okay, what's another amount? Yes? Oh, there could be 62, which I'm going to circle that one because that's the important one. So right when I know that, guys, right when I know that 62, can I eliminate 2 of these answers right away?
Yes.
What 2 answers can I eliminate? A and C, because I know that I'm including 62 in my solution set. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So I go ahead and just eliminate A and C because I know that it can be exactly 62 people because it says at least 62. Give me some other possibilities that could, of how many kids are in the room? Yes? 60 what?
1.
There could be 61, guys?
No.
No, if there's at least 62, actually this would be where 61 goes. Now 64, 66. Give me some not possibles then. Yep. Huh? Yeah. 60. Good.
-10.
Okay. -10. Okay, anything less than 61, or 61 or less, I should say, would be. So now, since these are the possibilities, which one of these numbers would make the statement true? Would it be B or D? Garrett? It would be D. Okay? Are we seeing my strategies here, guys? Just pick some amounts. That's a good strategy to use. It's 5. You guys should be writing your learning targets on your actual test too as we go here, because I didn't copy them with them. Okay? Okay, here we go. Write the inequality shown by the graph. This is also learning target number 2. Okay? So, first thing you identified. Did anybody something jump out at you right away? Yes, CJ? It's a closed dot, so we know it's going to have the line underneath. So can I go ahead and eliminate B and D? Okay. Now, you could do this two ways. You could just realize that that's showing numbers less than 2.5. Or could I just pick a number that's in my solution set? Would 0 make this true?
Yes.
Would it make this true?
No.
There we go. Letter A. But that is showing M solutions less than or equal to 2.5. Guys, before you ask, open your eyes. Thank you. Okay, number 7 is going to be learning target number, I'm going to call this learning target number 3. Okay, write an inequality. It could be either one. It could be 3 or 5 because they're both writing.
7.
Write an inequality for the situation. More than 31 binders in a tray. So you didn't need to, it doesn't matter what variable you use. I'll just use B for binders. And we know we're talking about 31. You could have used X or Y. I don't care. Okay, now, what inequality symbol would show more than 31 binders? Yes? There you go. Must be a greater than symbol. Just like that. And obviously, you could have this then. Same thing, right? Now, I really prefer, and I think you guys should as well, to put the variable on the left, but both make sense because either way, it's showing that my B solutions, my amount of binders, is greater than 31.
Wait, does this count?
All right, now we're going to go ahead and plot it. So I'm just going to plot, as we always have, I'm going to plot 0, I'm going to plot 31, and I'm going to plot negative 31. Now, if you plotted 31 in the middle, and then 32 and 30 on either side of it, that's fine. I don't care. I just think this is easier. Okay, so first of all, this is worth 1 point. Point B is. You must have it all right. Is it going to be an open or a closed dot? Lily?
Open.
Open dot. Now, since where would my actual solutions for the amount of binders that are in that tray be? Would they be to the right of my dot or to the left? Yep. To the right. There we go. So that's worth 1 point. That's learning target number 2. Okay. All right. Number 8. Now we're going to write the inequality shown by the graph. So here we go. I'm just going to use whatever variable I'd like. You could use X, Y, B, M. I don't really care. I'm going to identify that that's on negative 3. So I'm going to put negative 3 on there. Now the first thing I notice is that it's a what type of dot?
Close.
Close. So right away, do I know this?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, is it going to be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to? Gwen? It is greater than or equal to. And always at this point, we're going to check it. So I'm going to pick a number in my solution. So I'll just pick 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 3, guys?
Yes.
Absolutely. Could you also have this then? Yes, you could. Either one is fine. I prefer the variable being on the left, though. And I think you guys should as well, but that's fine. This is learning target number 2. All right. Number 9. Which steps should be taken to isolate the variable? Remember, isolating the variable is just when you do the inverse operations, right? So when I look at 9D equals 81, I ask myself, what is happening to the variable? And I see that 9 is being multiplied times the variable. So I would need to divide the variable. This is learning target number 1. Pretty easy there. At the bottom of the page, guys,
It's out of 10.
it's out of 10. Go ahead and put what you got out of 10 on that page. On that page, it's out of 10. So if you got 8 of the points, then put 8 out of 10. If you got 9, put 9. Okay. Here we go. This first one's the same one. This is learning target number 1. Ask yourself what is happening to the variable. 4 is being added to the variable. So to undo that, or to isolate the variable, we are going to subtract 4 from both sides. That's how we would get, because if we're adding 4 to R, and then we take away 4, we're back to just R, right?
Is this the next one out of 4?
Yes, this one here is out of 4 points. So what I did, I don't think I did this in here, but I just called this A, B, C, and D. Okay? Now, I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit. Basically, what you had to do is you had to solve these. So I'm going to bring A down here, and I'm going to solve it. So pay attention if you didn't really understand this question. I ask myself what is happening to the variable, and I know that 5 is being taken from it, right guys? So then I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and that's going to leave me with x equaling 7. That's the only solution for letter A, right? X equals 7. So would my solution of 7 be less than 5 or greater than or equal to 5?
Greater than.
Greater than or equal to 5. So this one would be x minus 5 equals 2. That's the first point. This is all learning target number 1. So you will have 4 checks or 4 X's on learning target number 1 after this question. So that's letter A. All right, now let's go to B. Okay, I see it's x plus 7 equaling 12. Ask myself what's happening to the variable. 7's being added to it. Quit talking. Then I'm going to subtract 7. That's going to give me x equaling 5. Now, would 5 be less than 5? Nope, it would be greater than or equal to 5. So therefore, this would be x plus 7 equals 12, and that would be letter B. There's your second point in your second checker X. Okay, let's go on to letter C, which is 3x equals 6. So I asked myself what is happening to the variable. So I'm going to undo that by dividing 3. I learned that x equals 2. Now, would that solution be less than 5 or greater than or equal to 5? Yep, so that's going to be 3x equaling 6, and that's letter C. Okay, and then we finally have letter D, which is x divided by 3 equaling 12, right? Now we ask ourselves what is happening to the variable, and the variable is being divided by 3, so I need to multiply both sides by 3 to undo that. I learned that x equals 36, and obviously that would go right here. And that would be letter C. So, here's what you had to have. I needed to see all of this work right here to get the 4 points. All of that has to be there. If it's not, it's wrong. Because otherwise, how on earth did you do it? So, you could have got, just understand, guys, it's out of 4 on just that problem. So if you missed one of them, you had A over here, then you would get 3 out of 4 correct. That whole entire page is out of 5. So go ahead and put what you got out of 5. No. I just did that. The lettering was just in my other classes. I gave them a different way to write it in. It was probably a little easier. Okay, guys, let's look at this one. Now, I told you guys on these 5 questions right here, you had to what? What word did I use?
Prove it.
Prove. Now, there's 2 ways you could prove it. You could, first of all, just plug in if you did that. So if you did 4 times 5, yes, that would equal 20. Therefore, that would be true. Okay? The other way that you could prove it is by solving. Do you guys understand me? You had to show me one of these 2 methods, learning that m equals 5. One of those 2 methods, so actually plugging it in or solving. But it is true. Learning target number 1. These are all 1, this whole section.
They're all 1 point.
Yeah, they're all 1 point, but it's learning target 1. Okay, everybody go with it. Does everybody understand? The highlighted part is mandatory. You must have it.
Yeah.
I told you guys you must prove it, so if you did not prove it, it is wrong. Okay? This one here, 2 ways to do it. Okay, you could have just plugged it in. Okay, 4 divided by 6 is not 24, so that would be wrong, so it's false. Or you could do m divided by 6 equaling 24 times 6 times 6, and you'd get, does anybody know what that equals?
144.
144, obviously that's why it would be false. But I needed to see the proving of it. This one, I'll just go ahead and prove it right now, is 3/4 plus 3/4. I end up getting 8/4, m equaling 8/4. Does that 8/4 equal 2, guys?
No.
Yes. Yes, it does. So that would be true. Okay, or you could have plugged it in, and this is what it would look like. Guys, look, please. 2 over 1 minus 3/4. You got to find a common denominator, which will be 4 times 4. So we do times 4 there, and we get 5/4. Is that what we said it had to be? Yes, we did. So there you go. So that would be true. Okay, I think that says 12. So you could solve it, so I'll just solve it right here. Plus 8 plus 8. We learned that m equals 20. So right away I know it's false. Or you could have just plugged it in and said, well, 4 minus 8 is -4, so that wouldn't be right. Okay? And the last one, I'll solve it first. We're going to subtract 2.1, subtract 2.1, and I'm going to get m equaling 1.9, so that makes it false. Or you could have plugged it in and done 6.1 plus 2.1, and we would get 8.2. That's not what it says it should equal, therefore it's false. Everybody see what I mean on that? If you did not prove it, do not give your credit. You could have just done one or the other, though. You didn't have to solve and plug in, just one or the other. All learning target number 1. Okay. This one here, I most certainly needed work, and you could have used below it. I'll just do the work below it. So I'll bring down. This would be number 17. What? This is all learning target number 4. These are all learning target number 4. Okay. So P plus 5 greater than 12. If you just did your work up here, that's fine, but I would always encourage you to rewrite. I'm going to subtract 5, subtract 5. I'm going to learn that P is greater than 7 for number 17, so that would be letter B. Okay, but I must see the work that I have highlighted here. If you didn't show it, it's wrong. Okay, number 18, P minus 8 is less than 9. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. That's going to give me P less than 17. Okay, so obviously that would mean that this is letter D. Number 19, okay, I got 3P is less than or equal to 21. So I'm going to divide by 3 to both sides. That means P is less than or equal to 7, which would mean letter A. But again, I must see this work just so you guys are hearing me. And finally, number 20 is P divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 7. Okay, so I'm going to multiply 3 to both sides. I learned that P is greater than or equal to 21. Okay, and then that would be letter C. Okay? Does everybody understand the work that I'm requiring? You had to do that in order to be able to solve them. Okay? All right. This one here, this is learning target number 2, I think. No, 3. Learning target number 3. A number M is at least 20. So again, we can go through our little list of possible and not possible. What's possible here? What number would be possible? Yes? 20 exactly. Can I eliminate 2 answers based on that information right there? Yep, I can eliminate A and B. Right, everybody? Because it's including the number 20 in my solutions. A and B would not include 20 in their solutions. Okay, so what other number would be possible? Yes? 21, 22, 23. Not possibles would be 19, 18, 17, right? So now, which one of these 2 inequalities would allow for those possibilities to make it true? Letter C. Okay? This one is going to be learning target number 5. Okay? A red block and a blue block are on a scale. So I like to even draw a picture. Red or blue and red. Okay? They're on my scale here. Okay? The red one weighs 5 ounces. Okay? The total weight of both blocks is at most 11 ounces. Okay? So, at most, what would be, let me ask you, how much what are the possible weights of the 2 blocks? Yes? 6. What else? Yep. 7. What else? Yep. 8. What else? There's one important one you're forgetting. Yep. Okay, there's one other one. Real important one, though. Yep. 11. What's not possible then? 12, 13, 14. Okay, so what would be would this be an or equal to situation?
Yeah.
Yep, and then would it be a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to? Yes. It would be less than or equal to. So, there we go. Look what I just did. I just created the inequality. My blue block plus my red block is less than or equal to 11. And we use B for blue, therefore it's letter A.
No work required.
No work required there. That's learning target 5. Okay, which number is not a solution for the inequality shown? So you could have done this a couple different ways. You could have solved it by doing this. I'll show you both ways.
Learning target?
4. Okay, you could have done it like this, where you actually solve it, times 3, times 3. You learn that your answer must be greater than or equal to 18, right everybody?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, that would 18 work?
Yes.
So that's not right. Would 24 be greater than or equal to 18?
Yes.
Yep. Would 30 be greater than or equal to 18?
Yes.
What about 9? So, and then the other way you could have done it, guys, if you didn't do this, this would be the best way to do it. But you could have just come up here and plugged all these in. 18 divided by 3, is that greater than or equal to 6? Yes. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Is 8 greater than or equal to 6? Yes. Is 30 divided by 3 is 10? Is 10 greater than or equal to 6? So I would need to see one of those two works. This one, if you didn't do it, write it. All right. This one's going to be learning target number 5. Now, you are supposed to write an inequality here, but I'm not going to make you do it because it's kind of confusing. What the inequality would look like is it would be $4 times the number of hours, right? And then I'm going to put $80. Now, what inequality symbol is this going to be? More than. It would be a greater than symbol, right? This is the best way you should have done it. And this is going to be divide 4. Divide 4. We know that our number of hours had to be greater than 20. Right, everybody?
That's exactly what I did.
That's awesome if you did that. Now, this is just what you should have done, so write it. Write it now. If you didn't, do it. Now, I see some people use proportions, which is fine. I don't really care. You could have went in here and plugged them in. Well, if he worked 10 hours, he would have only made $40. So that's out. If he worked 20 hours, then that would be $80. Well, that's out. If he worked $25, he would have made $100. Would that work?
Wait, is that right?
Hold on. And then D, 4 times 18 is 72. That's not more than $80, so D would be eliminated. So it's letter C. And that page is out of 13. 13. Please figure out what you got out of 13. Make sure you count it correctly. Okay, last page. Okay. Okay, now listen closely. Each one of these is worth 2 points. 2 points, okay? I want you guys to all hear this. So, here's how this is going to go. It's kind of confusing. The first part is learning target number 4. That's the solving. So however you solved it. That's going to be learning target number 4. Everybody got me? The graphing part is going to be learning target number 2. So basically, well, I'll explain it. Let's just get into it. So here we go. I'm going to solve these. I'm going to put them over here, 30 or 25. Okay, so here's your first point, guys. Pay attention. It's going to be 5x greater than 15. We are going to solve it. Divide 5, divide 5. If you got x being greater than 3, that's one of the points. Give yourself a check on learning target number 4. Did everybody hear me? That's a check on learning target number 4. Now that we have that, now let's get to our second point for this question. That's matching the correct graph. So first of all, I know it's greater than, so that means what kind of dot? Open dot. So that would eliminate both A and C. So which one is showing solutions greater than 3? Letter B. There's your second point. So again, you had to have this work, though. To get the first point, you needed that work. Everybody got me? Checks. Yes. No, guys. Listen. If you solved it correctly, that's a check on learning target number 4. If you picked the correct graph, that's learning target number 2. That's fine. Yep. Okay. Number 26. X divided by 3 is less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to multiply 3. Multiply 3. I learned that x is less than or equal to 3. Okay, right there is the first point. Give yourself a check or an X on learning target number 4. Okay? Now let's match the correct graph. Can I eliminate both? We've already done with B. Can I eliminate letter D?
Yes.
Yes, because it's an or equal to. Now, A or C, which one's showing the solutions less than or equal to 3? Letter A. Okay? Number 27. Okay? This is going to be x plus 10 less than 13. I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and I learned that x is less than 3. Okay? Again, there's your first point for learning target number 4, is actually solving it correctly. Now I know it's an open dot. There's only one to choose from left, right? And plus that is showing solutions less than 3. So this would be letter D. Okay, and then you must have the work for number 28. 28 would be x minus 2 greater than or equal to 1, add 2 to both sides. I learned that x is greater than or equal to 3, right?
Yeah.
So there's the first point, and then that's learning target 4, and then we know that letter C is showing greater than or equal to 3. Everybody good with that? So everybody understand? Everybody, you may want to off to the left. Go ahead and put what you got out of 8 on those 4, just so that you can kind of keep track of it. So if you got all 8, give yourself 8 out of 8. But again, I need to see the work that's highlighted here, guys, and then you need to match the correct graph. If you didn't, you'd have gotten 4 out of 8 if you didn't do any of the highlighted stuff over here. Okay, 29. Okay, after Caleb spent $5 of the money he earned for mowing lawns, he had 15 left. Right? Let M equal the amount Caleb earning mowing lawns. So we know that M is what he started with, right?
Yes.
Isn't that a whole amount?
Yeah.
Then he spent 5. Would that be subtracting or adding?
Subtracting.
Subtracting 5. And we know that, what's that have to equal then? The amount, the part, which is how much he has remaining, which is 15.
If I
That is all I will accept.
minus m equals 15,
Nope.
would that be wrong?
Nope. What would you have?
5 minus
No,
m.
because subtraction is not commutative.
It's okay if I solve
Yes.
it, right?
Shh. Guys, I will only accept this. So the questions. No.
Mr. Garrison?
Because essentially you're writing an expression, 15 plus 5. That's not what it is. I'm writing an equation. That's wrong if you didn't have it.
I solved it.
did the equation, but then I solved it.
That's fine.
And what
As
I
long as you
solved-
have this, I don't, guys. As long as you had this is what has to be there. If you solved it, that's fine. But that had to be there.
Learning target.
This is learning target number 5. Okay, next one. Jack has 4 times as many model cars as Gwen. Aw. Jack has 24 model cars. Let M equal the number of model cars Gwen has. Write an equation to represent. Okay, so we know that Gwen has 4 times the amount Jack has. So we're going to do 4M equaling 24.
What if you
That's all I will accept. Guys, if anybody put M.4 or MX4 or anything like that, it's wrong. We learned that last chapter, okay? It had to be exactly like that. 4M, the coefficient 4 in front of M equaling 24.
you had to have before,
We skipped this next one, so that won't count against you. Okay, now we'll go up and do the bonus. Now, each one of these bonuses is worth a half point. So, really, if you get one, you're going to get the other, right? So, independent, the independent variable is what you want to plug it in, okay? So what I mean by that is if I just did this, put 4 in for y, would I ever do that? Would I ever do that? No, because then you'd have to solve and do that. The dependent variable is always what the expression equals. Okay, guys? Do you all hear me on that? The dependent variable is always what the expression equals because it depends on what that x is. The y is going to change based on what the x is, right, guys? So therefore, my independent is my x. My dependent is my y. Guys, write it down. Hey, listen, guys. I will go ahead and star this. I can promise you that question will be on the summative, but it will not be a bonus. Everybody hear me? So, here's what we got going, guys. This page is out of 13. No, it's out of 10, I think. 10.
It's out of 10, but you can get 11.
But you can actually get an 11 out of 10. So whatever you missed on there, subtract it from 10, and then if you got the bonus, both of them, it's plus 1.
I was a half point away from testing.